this is Steve Feaster. Welcome to GNC's Total Lean Challenge. Today's workout has 5 exercises that we're going to run through twice. So we're doing 2 sets of everything. Now the exercises we're going to do are going to cover a gamut from lower body all the way to upper body, including the core. It's going to be times where we're breathing hard. It's going to be times where we're using a lot of strength and everything in between. So it's a little bit of conditioning today. Day 1, this is your Monday workout of phase 1. Fantastic workout. 15 to 20 reps of all the exercises. And we're going to try to take 45 to 60 seconds break between each one if possible. If you need a little bit more, take a little bit more. All right, the workout's going to consist of ball squats. Then we're going to move into push-ups, shoulder press, so we need a set of dumbbells for that. Then we're going to move onto the floor, so make sure you have a mat. It's going to be Superman and crunches. Well, let's get started. The first exercise is ball squats. I'm going to show you 2 different modifications you can use. One is squatting down to the ball. The next one is going to be using the ball against the wall. But first, we have to set up the ball properly. I've got it here where I won't move around by holding it in place with a dumbbell. The ball is going to give me a reference point, a place to descend to and come back from. A few points of performance. Let's make sure that our knee bone doesn't go in front of our toes. How do we accomplish this? We have to make sure we hinge back from the hips. So my first motion in a ball squat, the first thing I do is I hinge from the hips. My bottom goes back. The next thing, I want to make sure I have a good midline stabilization, including my chin staying up. I start to descend, my hips come back, my core stays straight. I descend and I put all my weight on my heels. Now notice my knees are up to my toes, but they're not past my toes. Again, I do that by hinging forward. I keep my core strong and straight. I descend with all the weight on my heels. I come up and down for 15 to 20 repetitions. I'm looking straight ahead. If you need to use your arms for balance, that's perfectly fine. 20 repetitions. Let me show you the next way to do this, a modification, something that might make it a little more tough. We're going to take the ball, we're going to put it in our low back against the wall. I walk my feet out so that when I go down, my shins are straight up and down and my quads are staying horizontal to the floor. Down. Now the ball should be a little bit between my shoulder blades and up. You have to trust the ball. Going down and back. A few things that might happen is your pelvis might want to roll forward. Don't let that happen because now my knees are going in front of my toes. So the same principles as the other way that we did this. You're hinged from the hips, down and back. Good core stabilization, pushing off your heels, down and back. 15 to 20 reps. The next exercise we're going to move to is push-ups. Push-ups are a fantastic exercise for the upper body. We're going to learn to weight up our shoulders, our tricep, and our chest. But moreover, the push-up can also engage a lot of core. So let's descend down to what we call plank position. In plank position, my hands need to be right underneath my chest. This is not where I need to be, nor do I want to sag. I want to be in a straight line, arms straight down. I'm really weighting up my hands. Typically what I like to see is come forward so that I really have my hands under my chest. Now here's a common mistake. People let their elbows go out wide. I want to keep my elbows in neutral, not close to the body, but not out either. They're going to, as I go down, they're going to go out about 45 degrees. Think of lowering your chest down and pushing up. A lot of times we see people hinge from the hips and they do this number here. Try not to do that. I want to stay in a straight line from my ankles to my shoulders. I descend my chest down and I push up. Man, that might be too hard, so what do? I can shorten the lever by going to my knees. I lay all the way down. I bring my bottom up slightly and I push. Notice my hands are still directly under my chest. Typically, I like to see people lay down first, get on their knees so that we're on the fronts of our legs. If you find yourself in this position, we're not going to be effective in the push-up. You're not going to get your triceps, shoulders, and chest. So begin on the knees by laying down flat, pushing yourself up. 15 to 20 repetitions. The next exercise is where we bring the dumbbells into play. It's going to be a shoulder press. Now, even though we're primarily working the deltoids, there's other things that are going to be going on. We're going to be engaging the core, our scapular stabilizers, the muscles that hold our shoulders still. So it's important that you pick a dumbbell with the proper resistance. Too light may not be effective. Too heavy and you could hurt yourself. Let's bring the dumbbells up to what we call the rack position. That's on either side of my shoulder. I want to keep my core tight, so my stomach is very tight, I'm weighted. It's okay if you have a split stance or if your legs are wide, it doesn't matter. All right, we're gonna extend up and active shoulders. So this isn't gonna cut it. Elbows need to extend straight, shoulders are lifted down. I don't like to come all the way back down, that puts too much stress on the shoulder. So let's stop when we get even with our eyes. Up and down even with the eyes. Up, full extension, and down. 15 to 20 repetitions. Remember, we're only taking 45 to 60 seconds break in between. All right, next exercise. We're moving on to the floor for a core exercise called Superman. Superman seems so easy, but if we do it properly, you're gonna feel this through the entire body. We're gonna engage your scapular muscles. Scapular muscles are the muscles between your shoulder blades. Your low back is gonna extend. Your gluteals, your bottom is gonna squeeze. We're gonna try not to bend your knees. There's a few modifications that we can add, but let's learn a proper Superman first. My head is gonna stay in neutral, so I pick a point on the ground to look at. I'm gonna squeeze my low back and my glutes without bending my knees. My legs are gonna come up and my hands are gonna come up. I'm engaging my scapular stabilizers, my low back, my glutes, up and down. Now, if that's too hard for you, let's try this. Opposite arm, opposite leg. This is a fantastic modification. You're going across the body with that musculature. So that's okay, 15 to 20 reps, either singles or do them together in a full Superman. Now, if we work the posterior side, if we work the back side, it's really important to work the anterior side as well, so that we have a good mixture of core. So let's roll over and let's finish with a crunch. Crunch is probably one of my most favorite exercises. But to get a crunch properly, we have to really take the time to set up. First thing I want you to do is put your thumb on your belly button, hand above your pubic bone or across your belt line. And I want you to get used to blowing out as you suck your tummy in. Now, a lot of times we pull our tummy in, but we also breathe in. No, we don't want to do that. We want to blow out while you suck your tummy in. Let's try this as an exercise. Keep your hand here, blow out, suck your tummy in, and just roll your shoulder blades up. For all intents and purposes, that was a perfect crunch. Now let's think of ways that we can do it even more perfect. Legs are bent, heels are into the ground. That's gonna make my hamstrings tight, so I pull my hamstrings in. Why do I do that? To make sure my pelvis stays back, okay? Again, I blow out, I suck my tummy in. My hands are gonna support my neck, not this way. Out and just gently lifting on my neck. Now I wanna try to go straight up. I don't wanna roll up, I wanna go straight up. So let's go over this again. My pelvis is slightly rolled back. My heels are into the ground, engaging my hamstrings. That's what keeps my pelvis locked in. And this is in, and I gently lift, 15 to 20 reps. Just as high as you can for your shoulder blades to be up. At the end of that 15 to 20 reps, it's time to do this all over again for set 2. 15 to 20 reps, 45 to 60 seconds between, and that's gonna be it for Monday's workout. Guys, welcome. I hope you had a fantastic time, and it was challenging.